Oh,
Got you.
well, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 4. On tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the case of Jodi Huisentruit. Now, Jodi was a news anchor from Mason City, Iowa, who disappeared on June 27th, 1995. A
Okay.
little background info about Jodi. She's originally from Long Prairie, Minnesota. She got her bachelor's degree in 1990 from St. Cloud State University in Minnesota in speech and mass communications. So her
Ooh.
first job after graduation, she was a flight attendant. She then got an anchor job in Cedar Rapids at their new station before making it to Mason City, where she was employed for 2 years before she went missing.
Okay.
And so the day of Jodi's disappearance. So Jodi worked the morning shift. So she was scheduled to broadcast from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Her normal call of like when she arrives is 3 a.m. at the station. 3 a.m. goes by. She's not there. 4 a.m. goes by. Her producer calls her. She gets a hold of her. She overslept. No big deal. She only lives about 5 minutes away from the station. It's like, I'm on my way. Okay. 5 o'clock rolls by. She's not there. 6 o'clock, she's still not there, so her producer fills in for her. She gets through the broadcast 6 to 7. 7 a.m. rolls around. Jodi has still not arrived. So one of the staffers there at the news station calls the police to go to her apartment to do a welfare check. Police arrive. There are signs of a struggle by her vehicle. Her red shoes all scattered across on the ground by her car. Her shoes, some jewelry, her hair dryer, and the key to the front door was bent, speculating that maybe she was trying to open the car door when maybe somebody came from behind. And a little bit of ways off from her vehicle, there are drag marks on the asphalt. Police spoke with neighbors of the complex and they heard screams about around 4:30 in the morning. The frustrating part about that is nobody called 911. And neighbors said that they saw a white van with its headlights on there in the parking lot at that time. However, this van has never been seen again. And so when police, they go to her apartment, see if anything's amiss, the toilet seat is up.
Oh.
Jodi lived alone.
Oh. Oh.
So
That's suspicious.
it's very suspicious. Did somebody she know, was somebody there with her went before, maybe was that why she woke up late? Somebody, something else is very much amiss here. And so around, oh, there was a partial palm print on the door
Oh man.
of her vehicle, but there has never been a match to it.
What?
Yes, yes.
Musics.
And in about May of 2001, okay, so Jodi disappeared June 27th of 1995. In May of 2001, Jodi was legally declared deceased. No, no, no sign. Nothing.
No, nothing.
No, nothing. Nothing.
Oh my
And so
goodness.
we're going to talk about some of the prime suspects here. The main persons of interest is in this case is a man of the name of John Van Cease. Now, John was friends with Jodi. This was just everybody knew they hung out very frequently. Now, John was 20 years older than Jodi.
Oh. Red flag number
Yeah,
one.
so they have the same friend group, and there's been a lot of suggestions and rumors that, maybe John was interested in maybe more than a friendship. And then Jodi was not interested.
Yeah.
The interesting part about John is about 2 days after Jodi's disappearance, he was talking to a news anchor and he was very excited about the fact that he passed a polygraph test and he was going to celebrate with a keg with his friends. That raised a bunch of eyebrows.
Yeah, because why would it really matter?
No, case point. John has also gone on the record to say that he was the last person to see Jodi alive, like before she disappeared. So the night before Jodi disappeared, John stated that she went over to his house to watch a video that he had made of her birthday party a couple weeks prior.
Would- Okay, that's a really random reason to
I,
go to
I, I,
somebody's house.
and so after she returned back to her apartment, police were able to confirm that she did make a phone call to a friend who lived out of state. However, she didn't really get to speak with her friend. She spoke with the friend's husband. And that was the last communication wise anybody had heard of Jodi until the following morning when her producer got a hold of her. And so, another eye raising thing about John is that he named his boat after Jodi.
Yikes.
And so all of these years later, his name still comes up. And a lot of people have speculated, that one of the reasons that he is the main suspect is that he will probably wanted more from the friendship than Jodi did.
Can I ask, did any of the friends, like any of their mutual friends, ever say, well, like, yeah, he hit on her a couple of times? Like, was there
So
anything that was,
one of them, I think they stated that, I don't know if it was the birthday party or if it was a different incident where the friend group was all together, that Jodi was dancing with another guy and that he was just like staring at them like he was not happy about it.
oh no. Oh, yikes.
And so in about 2007, police issued a search warrant to his house and they dug up his basement. No evidence was ever found. So in 2017, cops produced a search warrant to get the GPS data from both of his vehicles.
Oh,
However, the search warrant is sealed due to the fact that this is still an ongoing investigation. And as of today, John has since moved to Arizona and he has Alzheimer's disease.
okay, so they're not gonna catch this guy. Even if he was guilty, they waited so long to do anything about him at this point. It's like you might as well let the man walk.
And then another name that has come up in this case is there was a man of the name of Tony Jackson. This is a trigger warning. Okay, so
Oh no.
sorry. So Tony Jackson, he's a serial rapist, and he
Oh,
is currently serving a life sentence in prison in Minnesota. So Tony's name came up because a couple of years back, one of Tony's former cellmates came forward and stated how Tony, he made a rap, and in this rap, he made reference of Jodi, kind of bragging about that he was the one who had something to do with her disappearance. This rap had a reference to a town by the name of Tiffin. Now, Tiffin is a town in Idaho about 2 hours away from Mason City. Also made reference to a big silo there in Tiffin. This raised so many eyebrows that investigators went out to this town in Idaho where this silo was, and they brought search dogs with them. This, however, did not turn up any evidence. Tony has maintained his innocence regarding this case, Um, it is stated that he did not know Jodi personally. However, there are other accounts saying that he frequented the same bar that she did.
Mm, so it could have been like he probably picked her up that night, got in her bed.
I don't
If it is
if
true.
that had happened, but I'm kind of I rule him out. I don't think
I
he had.
mean, because most of the time when people rap, I heard here recently that it's like they use, what is it, like idioms.
Hmm.
They don't really, it's just kind of like figure of speech. So who knows?
Hmm.
He probably was just trying to look hard the wrong way type thing.
But another reason his name comes up is that when he lived there in Mason City, he did not live far from Jodi. I think
Oh
was
man.
might have been another red flag at that time, but he's maintained his innocence. He's currently serving 20 plus years of a life sentence at the moment.
I mean, it don't sound like he really getting out the jail anyway. So hopefully he. Oh, I got a question. Was he in jail? Like, do you know how far apart, like, from the murder to when he got in jail? Like, was he in jail prior to her like getting killed, or was it after the fact?
We'll pause here. We'll come back to that because
Okay.
I don't know. I need to look that up. Actually, like he might have already been in jail, but I need to double check on that. So we can add that in at the end. Like,
Okay. Gotcha.
but and so another shocking bit of information, or at least very eyebrow raising, is that in 2008, 84 pages of Jodi's diary entries, like copies of them, they were anonymously sent to the newspaper there in Mason City. There was no return address. And so sometime later, the ex-wife of a former Mason City police chief came forward and said she was the one who mailed it in. And another interesting part of that is that about in back in 2020, so there's a billboard with Jodi's face on it, wanting anybody with information to come forward. It was defaced and it said Frank Stearns Machine Shed. That's all
What?
it said. Frank Stearns is a former Mason City police officer and investigator of Jodi's case. Police have stated that whoever defaced the billboard was someone with their own agenda. Complete speculation and rumors that there has been a cover up within the Mason City Police Department regarding Jodi's disappearance. And there's also been rumors that Mr. Stern may have had some involvement.
Because
There's
how
been
did the
unconfirmed
wife?
reports that Jodi may have been investigating the police department.
Jodi was investigating the police department.
Unconfirmed.
Okay.
There's
But
been talk of it, but nothing has been confirmed of that fact. And
so
since
how did the wife get her diary entry? Aren't you not supposed to touch it?
that's there have been no answers to that question.
All right. Okay, I'm starting
I'm
to get
saying
this.
that has been there have been so many eyebrow raising aspects of this case. And unfortunately, back in 2014, Jodi's mother passed away.
Oh
And
no.
Jodi's remains to this day still have not been found. And as of February of 2023, a $25,000 reward has been brought up to anybody who may know the possible location of Jodi's remains.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. Is her dad still alive?
I believe he passed when she was young, but her older sister is still
Okay,
alive.
that's good. So hopefully she can still fight for justice for her sister. Man, that is crazy. Okay, so we got like a group of suspects here. My money is right now. It seems like it's a tie between the police department and the friend. Those are the two that's like here for me. Because my thing is why I don't really get why the ex-wife would have even sent in her diary entries. Like, what did you gain? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was your motive behind this, ma'am? Like,
No.
that's a diary. Is she,
Um,
deceased? Like, what is wrong with you?
whoever did do this, though, they had to have been watching her. No, they knew her schedule, her habits. For them to get her that morning, though, I think they might have been a little bit surprised in terms of because she was late.
Hmm.
But oh, another thing I forgot to mention is that about the evening prior to her disappearance. So before she had saw John, she was at a dinner. It had to do
Hmm.
with a golf tournament. She was telling her friends about she was getting these creepy phone calls, and then she had even taken up self-defense classes. So there's
Hence
potential
the
stalker.
struggle.
Yes.
So, was there not like any cameras
No.
at the Okay, so to spare me from getting even more upset at this case, um, I was gonna say I don't understand. This is about the third or fourth case I've heard where the neighbors they don't call or do anything about it. I am a nosy neighbor. Okay, if I even hear the trash is moving outside, I gotta know what's going on because it's too much noise out here at 12 in the morning. So for y'all not to think, maybe somebody's screaming out there. Maybe we should call police. Maybe we should just peek out and see what's going on. That literally could have saved her life
It,
if
it,
people would have just
it
paid
could
attention.
could have
That's
hours from the incident in the parking lot to when the police were called.
And then for her shoes to be gone, her keys are jammed. Yeah, baby girl was like, I am not going down without a fight. And I mean, rest in peace, baby girl, but at least she tried. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
she was not gonna just sit there and take it. White vans creep me out, anyways. Well, disclaimer: I don't want to offend anybody who might be watching this with the white van, but as a child, I was always told you do not go up to white vans because they used to snatch kids in my
Mhm.
hometown, at least. So they always make me iffy. If I drive next to them, I'm like, y'all could be lovely people, but the fear and phobias, okay, of what I was raised to believe. But that's it. I just, that makes me sad. That makes me so sad. So back to this. So how old was Jodi?
Jodi was 27.
She was 27. So this friend of hers was like what, 47? I don't know. Something don't sit right with that. Something. I mean, you can have older friends, but I'm just saying, for him to be staring her down while she getting her boogie on, and like, I mean, I love you. I would probably name a boat after you, but like, I don't think I would, name a boat after like Travis or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just weird. Like, I don't really. I feel like for you to do something like that, you have to have a sentimental value of that person.
He has stated that he thought of her like a daughter, but
I
there's been a lot of people who know about this case. They disagree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when people say, "Oh, that's like a daughter to me," red flag, because I don't just go around with my older friends and be like, "You're a second mama to me," or "You're a dad to me." Some people can, but once again, some people can't. It just is questionable. That's all I'm saying. He
Yes.
is very questionable.
Yes. Oh, I agree entirely.
Okay, so what do you think? I want to give me into your mindset. What are you thinking happened?
Well, because she was very well known to the area, being a news anchor, she was very well liked. I think it could have been a stalker, but I'm also leading toward the older friend
Hmm.
who's some of his it just it's very iffy. It's very iffy.
Hmm. Yes. And I have also heard too, like, you never know who's watching you with
Yes.
stalkers. Like, you just never know. And she was on TV, like you said. But with the
Um,
toilet seat being up, it just makes me feel
that's
like,
very indicative of a man.
yes, because I tried that when I was younger. It's very hard to pull it off. So I know homegirl ain't around here doing that herself. Okay. And I just, whoever did it, I feel like they had to have been close. Either it was a sneak attack or it was somebody close enough to her where they could have walked her to her car or like walked her outside and then boom, bam, you know.
Yeah. Yes, I agree completely. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. About a day or two before she had gone missing, neighbors heard a man banging on her door, yelling, I know you're in there.
Um,
Did not see who the culprit was of that interaction. That encounter, don't know, but just saying.
she should have. Okay, so if he's
Oh,
saying
and
I know,
because of the stalker thing, so she did, I don't know how frequently in that time period, but when those phone calls started arising that she did have a police escort
okay,
her to work, but I don't
yeah,
have the
because that was
timeline
going to
for
be the
that.
next thing. I was going to say she should have filed a report, but it seems like she did. Man,
And she'd also told friends that she was going to change her number soon, but
I feel like she kind of knew more than she was letting on. You know, like I
it's
kind
very
of,
possible that she might have
yeah.
known more than what she had been relaying to her friends.
And who knows, maybe she had somebody over because she wanted to feel safe, you know, and protected from that. And it just, man, that poor baby. Poor Joe. Also, I have to ask out of curiosity, what are the ethnicities are of these people? Do you know? Right. I mean, because
Jody,
I know you've seen the pictures, but
Jody, the older gentleman, police officer, Caucasian.
okay.
Mr.
Because the last name
Jackson
made me,
is African American.
I'm gonna hold in every urge to say something. Moving on, moving further. Okay, so yeah, I
I
that's
mean, you
my
can say
final
something, we'll
conclusion.
just cut it out.
I mean, we can't cut it out, but for the sake, I'll just say it on camera because Zoom be like, you got 5 minutes. But let me gather my thoughts here. So you told me you were gonna mention another name. Is that name? Have you
Oh,
mentioned
that was the cop.
that was the cop? Okay. Yeah, like I say, I wanted to me personally, I was gonna go with the friend. And I was gonna say, like, it sucks to say this, but if he indeed listen to my word, if he indeed did commit this crime and Alzheimer's has struck him, well then he kind of has to deal with that. Like, you know, like I just feel like when you do things wrong in this world, your karma comes back to you, you know, and you don't always get to choose the forms. But I also know I've been taught not to say like you reap what you sow. But I mean, sometimes it's kind of true, you know, like if you do evil deeds, you're susceptible to receive the backlash of that. But I kind of don't really want to pin this on him as well because I just don't understand why the wife has the diary. That just raises so many
That,
red
yeah,
flags for me.
it
And
makes
like,
no sense to me.
if you were gonna tell people you did it, why did you send them anonymously? Like, I just don't understand, you know? And then for somebody to even get up on her billboard and deface it, that's a bit extreme. Like that's a bit much. You know what I'm saying? Ooh.
But every year for the past several years, the Find Jodi team has continuously like
That's
kept
good.
billboards up for her.
Well, I'm glad that they have. The things I hate about this case is one, I hate that the people didn't do nothing. I hate that the apartment people didn't look out for their own. But I mean, I kind of get it because if somebody's screaming, I, I don't know if I would look out my window and be like, "Hello," but I would probably call 911 and be like, "Yo, is somebody screaming outside, and I'm too chicken to go out there, but can you come and do something about this?" And then two, it seems like they took such a long time to investigate and collect evidence. Because the murder happened in like what, 95?
Her disappearance
Her
happened in
disappearance rather.
95. Yes.
Yeah, and then it was what, 2001 when they started like getting search warrants and stuff. Like y'all should have been working on that immediately.
Mm.
I'm just saying, that's just
I
my
mean, no, you're correct. You're correct. It's just unfortunate that
it
all this
is.
time has gone by and there's still very little answers regarding
Yeah, like
what
no updates.
happened to
But listen,
Jodi.
if you hear anything or if you get any updates, please let us know because
Oh,
I am very curious about this.
I will absolutely update everyone regarding this
Oh
case.
yeah, the viewers as well. They want to know what's going on too. Well, all right, Bubs. Any final thoughts? Any?
If you like this episode, give it a like. Please give us your opinions. What do you think happened to Jodi? And more information regarding this case will be put down below. Y'all can go check that out.
Yes, and if we'll try to get the hotline number that you can call if you know any more information or anything like that. So help us keep our eyes peeled about this case, guys. And until next time, I've been Shay,
I'm Marissa.
and we
We
are
are two
two
girls
girls with the
with a
case.
case.
Bye,
Till next
guys.
time. Bye, guys.